Tonight, we are getting the facts on the Iran war and comments made by President Donald Trump about his administration's success. Recently, he claimed that the U.S. has, quote, already destroyed 100% of Iran's military capability, end quote. Joining us live now, Lou Jacobson with PolitiFact. Lou, thanks for being here. What did you find about the accuracy of that statement?
So the attacks have been significant for sure. The U.S. has sunk dozens of Iranian ships, and one independent group has counted at least 1,400 separate missile, drone, and manned strikes by the U.S. One U.S. think tank that is tracking the war has counted drone attacks against U.S. targets and targets in friendly countries and found that the number has fallen from greater than 100 per day during about the first week of the war to between 6 and 39 daily during the war's second week.
And despite that, Lou, just to be clear, Iran's military has still not been 100% defeated, right?
Correct, because they are still firing drones at U.S. military targets and civilian and industrial targets in the Gulf states. And the risk of vessels getting shot in the Strait of Hormuz, which carries about 1/5 of the world's oil, is still too high for vessels to sail through it. And as they, as long as Iran can keep the ship channel closed, then they have significant leverage over oil prices and the health of the global economy.
And what did PolitiFact find when it comes to the reduced amount of missile and drone strikes against the U.S. and other allies?
Yeah, so it's important, but there's reason to be cautious. They could be getting more selective about what to target, or they could be stockpiling drones for attacks later that are larger. And that's important because a small number of attacks per day may, in fact, be enough to keep the shipping lanes closed, and that's a global pressure point.
And as far as claiming success in this war, does the U.S. have a definition for defeating the enemy?
So the closest we could find was guidance from the Joint Chiefs of Staff, which is the senior group of military officials in the U.S. The Joint Chiefs says that the general goal of a military operation is to conclude hostilities and establish conditions favorable to the host nation and to the United States and its multinational partners. By this definition, the U.S. hasn't yet ousted the regime, secured a promise to end nuclear and missile programs, and to enable free passage through the strait. So the experts we spoke to say that this standard set by the Joint Chiefs for victory has not been met, at least so far.
All right, Lou Jacobson with PolitiFact, thanks so much for your time this afternoon.
Great, thank you.